The Young and the Restless Spoilers. Hey everyone, welcome back to the channel. It is a beautiful Thursday evening. The weekend is just around the corner, and I hope you all have your favorite snacks and a cozy beverage ready, because we have some absolutely insane things to discuss today. Let's jump right in. I cannot believe what I just watched. My jaw is literally still on the floor, and I am typing this up late at night because I am so full of adrenaline and rage and shock that I cannot even think about sleeping right now. Are you kidding me with this show right now? Victor Newman has officially, completely, and utterly lost his damn mind. I mean, we all know the mustache has a god complex, but what we just witnessed in that secret basement under the ranch is hands down the most twisted, sick, and psychologically damaging thing I have seen on daytime television in years. And I have been watching this show religiously since 2015, okay? I have seen Victor do some absolutely unhinged things to his family. I have seen the kidnappings, the corporate takeovers, the manipulation, the faked deaths. But this, I am losing my mind. So let me just get this straight. Victor actually takes Nick, his own son, down into a secret underground dungeon at the ranch. A secret basement. Because of course, Victor Newman has a secret dungeon that nobody knows about. And who is down there? Matt Clark. Matt freaking Clark. Chained up in the dark like some kind of animal. We all knew Matt was missing. Phyllis was right. I know some people are loving this dark Victor era, but personally, I am horrified. Phyllis was literally running around Genoa City panicking, confronting Adam, demanding to know what the Newmans did to Matt, and Adam was just giving her his usual snarky, smart guy attitude. But Phyllis was right all along. Victor actually abducted him and chained him to a wall. But wait, I'm getting ahead of myself. Let's back up and talk about Nick for a second, because this is the part that makes me want to scream at my television. Nick is barely surviving right now. The man is in the middle of a massive, life-threatening crisis. He is fighting a severe fentanyl addiction. We just saw him in rehab, trauma bonding with Marie Kirkland, sharing drugs in seedy motels, having nightmares, and literally shaking from withdrawal. His mind is shattered. His body is shattered. He is at the absolute lowest point of his entire life, trying to claw his way back to sanity. And what does his loving father do? Does he get him a better therapist? Does he sit by his bed and support him? No. Victor drags his violently withdrawing, psychologically fragile son down into a dark basement, shoves a loaded gun into his trembling hands, and tells him to execute a man. I'm sorry, but what? I am so worked up about this, I can barely type straight. Victor coldly looks at Nick and tells him that this is the only way to end the nightmare and protect the family forever. He wants Nick to pull the trigger. He wants Nick to become a cold-blooded killer. He is framing this as some kind of twisted final exam for his son, a test of his manhood or his loyalty to the Newman name. Because in Victor's twisted, narcissistic brain, protecting the family means you have to be willing to murder someone in cold blood in your own basement. And let's talk about the physical reality of this scene, because Joshua Morrow acted his absolute heart out. Give this man an Emmy right now. Nick is standing there, and you can see the sweat pouring down his face. His hands, the hands holding this heavy, lethal weapon, are violently shaking. He is going through drug withdrawal. His nervous system is completely shot from the fentanyl and the failed rehab stint. He can barely stand up straight, let alone make a rational, life-altering, moral decision. The psychological torture Victor is inflicting on his own son right now is beyond abusive. It is pure evil. Am I the only one who sees how sick this is? Victor is taking advantage of Nick's broken mental state to turn him into a monster. And then there is Matt Clark. Oh my god. Matt Clark. Roger Howarth is playing this to perfection. You would think a guy chained to a wall in a dark basement with a gun pointed at his head would be begging for his life, right? Not Matt. Matt is laughing. He is literally laughing in Nick's face with this arrogant, smug, psychotic grin. He looks at Nick, sees how broken and shaking he is, and he taunts him. He dares Nick to pull the trigger. He tells him to do it, to prove that he is a true Newman. Because Matt knows exactly what is happening here. Matt is a master manipulator, and he sees the game Victor is playing. Matt knows that if Nick shoots him, Matt actually wins. Think about it. If Nick pulls that trigger, Nick's soul is destroyed forever. Nick has always been the moral center of the Newman family. He is the good son, the one who tries to do the right thing, the one who fights against Victor's darkness, the one who has spent his entire adult life trying to prove he is not his father. If Nick shoots an unarmed, chained man in a basement, he becomes exactly what he hates. He becomes Victor. He becomes Adam. He loses his humanity. And Matt is sitting there, chained in the dark, laughing because he knows that his death will be the ultimate destruction of Nick Newman. I mean, the layers to this scene are just blowing my mind. Nick is standing there, completely torn apart. You can see the agonizing war happening behind his eyes. On one hand, his moral compass is screaming at him to drop the gun. He is a father. He is a good man. He saves people. Look at how he is trying to save Marie Kirkland right now in rehab. He has white knight syndrome. He doesn't execute people. But on the other hand, the sheer, unadulterated rage is boiling over. Matt Clark has destroyed so many lives. Look at what he did to Sharon. Look at the trauma he inflicted on Noah. Noah literally just packed up his life and fled to Los Angeles with Sienna Bacall just to get away from the ghost of Matt Clark. Noah was terrified he was going to do something stupid if he stayed in Genoa City. The collateral damage this man has caused to Nick's family is immeasurable. So Nick is standing there holding all of that trauma, all of that rage, all of that pain, and Victor is offering him a permanent solution. Just one pull of the trigger, and the monster is gone forever. No more looking over their shoulders. No more Sharon living in fear. No more Noah running away. It is such a seductive, terrifying offer, especially to a man whose brain chemistry is currently completely fried by fentanyl withdrawal. And Victor? Victor is just standing there in the shadows, not doing a damn thing. He isn't intervening. He isn't pushing Nick, but he isn't stopping him either. He is just watching with those cold, dead, judgmental eyes. He views this as the ultimate test of Nick's character. If Nick shoots, Victor finally has the ruthless heir he has always wanted. A son who is willing to cross the ultimate line for the family. But wait, we have to remember the context here. Victor is secretly dying of a terminal illness. He is planning to leave the company to baby Dominic, which is already insane, but maybe this basement test is his way of seeing if Nick is strong enough to lead the family when Victor is gone. Is this Victor's twisted dying wish? To corrupt his most moral child before he dies? I am so disgusted by Victor right now, and I know some people are loving this. I see the forums, I see the group chats. People are saying, yes, finally, get rid of Matt Clark. Nick needs to man up. But personally, I think those people are missing the entire point of Nick's character. If Nick does this, there is no coming back. You don't just execute a hostage and then go back to running a coffee shop or being a good dad to Christian. This will break Nick permanently. He is already using drugs to numb his pain. If he adds cold-blooded murder to his conscience, he will overdose. He will not survive the guilt. Sharon would be horrified. Noah would be horrified. Speaking of Sharon, can we just take a moment to imagine what she would do if she knew what was happening right now? She just visited Nick in rehab. She just sat there and told him he isn't a superhero. She is already terrified that his connection to Marie Kirkland is going to derail his recovery. If she knew that Victor had dragged him out of treatment to perform a mafia-style execution in a basement, she would burn the Newman ranch to the ground, and she would be completely justified. Okay, back to the point. The tension in this scene was so thick, you could cut it with a knife. The lighting was incredible, just these harsh shadows crossing Nick's sweating face, the glint of the metal chains on Matt, Victor lurking in the background like the Grim Reaper. Every time Nick's finger twitched on the trigger, I stopped breathing. I was literally yelling at my screen, "Don't do it, Nick! Put the gun down!" Because let's really analyze what it means to be a true Newman according to Matt and Victor. A true Newman, in their eyes, is someone who operates above the law, above morality, above human decency. A true Newman takes what they want and destroys anyone who gets in their way. Adam has always struggled with this darkness. Victoria has embraced it in the corporate world. But Nick has fought it. That is his entire identity. If he pulls that trigger, Victor wins. Victor's toxic worldview is validated. But then there is the other side of the coin. If Nick doesn't shoot, what happens? Matt Clark continues to be a ghost haunting this family. Matt has already shown that he will never stop. He will always come back. He will always find a way to hurt Sharon, to hurt Nick, to manipulate the system. If Nick lowers that gun, he is sparing a monster, and Victor will look at him with absolute disgust. Victor will see him as weak, as a failure, as someone who doesn't have the stomach to protect his own blood. The psychological fallout of not shooting might be just as bad for Nick's relationship with his father, though honestly, who cares what Victor thinks at this point? I am just so incredibly frustrated with the writers right now, but in a good way. Like, it's brilliant television, but it is so painful to watch. Remember when they tried to make Nick go super dark a few years ago? Yeah, It didn't really work then either because Nick is fundamentally a good guy. But adding the fentanyl addiction to the mix changes everything. Drugs change your brain. They lower your inhibitions. They amplify your rage. They make you impulsive. Nick is not in his right mind. He's a loaded weapon himself, and Victor just aimed him at Matt. And can we talk about how clueless Nikki is right now? Nikki is running around town, completely delusional, thinking Victor is this kind, gentle narcissist. She is worried about Jack Abbott. She thinks Jack is plotting against Victor. Meanwhile, her husband is running a literal torture dungeon under her house and trying to turn her son into a murderer. I swear, if Nikki walks down those stairs looking for a bottle of vintage wine and walks in on this execution, I will lose my mind. She has no idea the level of depravity Victor is operating at right now. He already brought Patty Williams back to town to terrorize the Abbotts, which was sick enough, but this is a whole new level of dark. I honestly don't know how this is going to end. I am dreading the next episode, but I am also counting down the seconds until it airs. Is Nick gonna pull the trigger? Is he gonna shoot the wall? Is he gonna turn the gun on Victor? Honestly, at this point, if Nick pointed the gun at Victor, I might actually cheer. Victor deserves it for putting his son through this hell. But realistically, I think Nick is going to break down. I think the shaking is going to get worse. The withdrawal is going to hit him like a freight train, and he is going to drop the gun. And then Matt is going to laugh even harder, and Victor is going to look at Nick with that signature sneer of profound disappointment. And Nick is going to be left feeling weak, pathetic, and broken, which will probably send him straight back to the drugs. It's a lose-lose situation. There is no victory here. There is only trauma. I just needed to vent this all out because my heart is still pounding. This show knows exactly how to push our buttons, and they are playing us like a fiddle right now. The stakes have literally never been higher. We are talking about the soul of Nick Newman. We are talking about the legacy of the Newman family. We are talking about life and death in a dark, damp basement, while the rest of Genoa City goes about their business completely oblivious. I want to know what you guys think. Am I overreacting? Do you want Nick to shoot Matt? Do you think Victor is justified in trying to protect the family this way? Sound off in the comments, because I need to know I am not the only one losing my mind over this. I am gonna go try to calm down, maybe drink some chamomile tea, and pray for Nick's soul. Until next time, stay restless, my friends.